Welcome again. This is episode 2 of Java 8 coding interview question. In this season 1, I will cover question with detailed explanation. If you want to crack an interview and if you want to ace in your job, then you have come to the right place. Let's get started. In this video, we'll cover two questions. Both the questions will cover many concepts for Java 8 stream pipeline. You can pause the video and read the question carefully. I hope you have read the question. In question 1, we need to create a stream pipeline that takes a list of integer. So there will be a list of string, filter out a string that contains letter A and returns a new list of the remaining strings sorted in descending order by length. So in this question I have highlighted certain important things. If you see this type of question, you need to find out what all are the things are important in that question. So we need to filter, we need to return, we need to have a list, and we need to sort in question 1. Now we'll come to question 2. In question 2, it is similar question. Here also we have given a list of string and we need to create a map where each character map to a set of words that start with that character. Both the questions will use same concept and will have the same Java stream pipeline. Now we'll come to solution. The solution for question 1 is, in this solution you can see that I've highlighted the important component. So we need to create a stream using a stream method. Then we need to filter out the stream which will be having the letter A, and then we need to sort it, we need to reverse it, and then we need to collect it as a list. Don't worry, I'll show you this using an example in our coding section. You see the double colon is a method reference and the arrow is a lambda expression. Both lambda expression and method reference are the concept of Java 8 stream and was also introduced in Java 8. Now we will jump into question 2 solution. If you see in question 1 and in question 2, our initial steps are same. We need to create a stream, then we need to filter. In question 1, we are filtering based on a certain element. We are searching a character or an element in a particular stream, and in solution 2 we are just checking empty. Empty means either it's null or it's a blank space. And then in both the methods we are using collect. So in solution 2 we are collecting in a set and we are grouping, and then after grouping we are mapping into a map. I hope you are understanding this, and these questions are asked in, if you're applying for any Java interview and in any technical round, these type of question will be asked. And trust me guys, if you follow this thing, you definitely will become an expert on handling Java 8 related queries. I will definitely cover certain concept in more detail, but for now our focus is to solve this problem. So now we will be doing coding with example. So we'll jump into coding. In our coding section, we will be solving both the problems which we have mentioned earlier. So first we will be solving our problem 1 and then we will be solving our problem 2. So we will be using same example for our both the problem. I have already defined the list of a string here. This is an example which we will be using to solve our problem and to create a stream in Java 8. So first we need to take our string, which is this value, and then we need to create a stream method. Once we create a stream method, as per our problem, we need to filter our stream. So to filter our stream, we need to use lambda expression and we need to search in our stream whether it contains character A. After filtering out our stream, we need to sort our stream based on their length in descending order. So to sort our string, we need to use comparator operator. In comparator operator, we need to use a string based on the string length. We need to sort based on our string length, not reverse. Then we need to collect that filtered stream and sorted stream in our list object. So we need to use collect operator, we need to use collector. After we have collected our stream, as a list, we need to print our string. So to print our string, we need to use for each method. In for each method, we need to use sysout.println to print our string. That's it. If we have to solve this problem without Java 8, we need to write a lot of line of code. We need to use if else statement, but now you could see the power of Java 8 Stream API. And now we'll run this program and see whether what will be our output. And I'm also going to tell you that why we are doing in this way. Okay, as you could see that our output is printed and only those strings are printed which contains our character A: cranberry, avocado, umbilica, and durian. Blueberry is not printed. Therefore, why in interview these type of question are asked. For example, I have written one more list of string in here. As you could see, this string is representing bank code. If you have worked in a service based company, or if you are a fresher and you're going to work in a top MNC companies, definitely one of their client will be bank customer, all the big banks. So in bank they do have bank codes. There are a lot of things over there. I'll tell you those things later on, but for now consider bank code is one of the code which is used in bank to represent certain thing. So in bank code there are certain codes are defined in a specific manner. So here if you see we have certain code. So you need to create maybe an API to send this information to third party or to some other client. So in that way your use case or business case will be to find an element, or to only find an element which contains A. Starting element is A. How you can do that? So if you could see, right, you are getting this list in bank, and if you apply the same logic, so you will not be getting, sorry, my mistake, you will not be getting B101 in your new list. So if we use this in our stream, we'll see what will be the output. So I will just copy paste. This is industry level example. Usually many people don't tell it, they always tell you very basic thing, but I'm telling you so that you know the real use case of that why these problems are asked in an interview. So I'll run this. You could see what it is printing. So if you are in your day-to-day job, if someone will give you such a list and they ask you to only give me the bank code which contains A, so you know what you need to do, and that's why interview these type of question are asked. And if you can solve it, then they will be impressed by you. Okay, I'll not go further on because our focus is to solve this problem. Now I will be, you can pause the video and use it. I will be removing it from here, and we will be solving our question 2. There is one more thing I want to tell in here. I'll tell you that later on. So now in our question 2, what was our problem statement? We need to create a map. Here they don't want a list, we need to create a map. We will create a map. So after we create a map of character set string, we will be calling our stream method in our map. Then we need to call filter. In filter we need to check whether our string is empty or not. This is optional, but the reason we need to do this to avoid null pointer exception or any unexpected exception. Then we need to collect our string in a map offset. So we need to use collector and we need to group. I'll complete this stream and then I'll explain you. I will break this to you because for you it will be complicated. Then we need to do mapping. We need to map it to a set. This one is really big one. I'm doing some mistake. We need to be very careful while creating a stream. I rather suggest that better we, that's why when you are writing a complicated stream, right, I think you better, if you remember, if you're working, if you worked on React application, you might realize that if you're writing nested component, we always prefer to break it down so that we are not doing anything wrong in our, yeah, now it's better. So my first collector, then my second collector. The reason I'm doing is so that I can explain you, and you also doesn't feel it to be more complicated why we are doing each and every step. Hmm. Okay, so it's more over like an if and else statement, but yeah, uh, it's a pretty one. Because it's pretty complicated. That's why the stream is so big. So we haven't printed this stream yet, so we need to print it. Okay, I'll print this, and then will go into what is our. So it is printing empty. See, I'm also facing a problem now. See, very small mistake. I haven't. I need to check whether it is empty or not. Yes, now. So what I'll do, I'll comment my previous stream so that we can understand it better. Okay, and then we will be okay. Now you see. So in our question 2, right, we need to separate the first character, and then we need to create a set for our remaining length of remaining remaining word left in our string. So now we will troubleshoot what is happening in here. So our first thing, we are creating a stream method. Then we are using a filter operation to check whether our stream is empty or not. Even if we remove this, will be no change in our output. But this is moreover to check whether there is empty or not. Now we are using collect. So we are using collect operation used to collect the filtered stream into a map character based on the first character of each string. So we are collecting it in a map. Okay, if you could see. So what how our map will look like? Our map is first element in our map is character, whereas its value is set, and we all know that map is a key value Java collection interface. I'll not go deep in here, but if you have seen my video of to some lead code, there I've explained hash map, and there we know that what is key and what is value. So here our key is character and our value is the remaining length of my string. If you could see the output, this is my character and this is my string with a set. So we are using collect. Then in our collect we are using grouping by. Grouping by method is used to group the string by their first character, and the mapping method. So grouping by, what this grouping by is doing, this grouping by is reading character at position 0. So what is my string? What my string is avocado. So my character at position will be what is my position of A in avocado is 0. In blueberry B is 0. So it is reading character at position and it is grouping by. You could understand grouping by if you have worked on database, and in database we have a clause group by clause. I'll explain these concept in more detail when I launch my another videos, but for now let us solve this problem for now. You understand that it is just grouping it based on the first character of that particular string. Then we are using mapping method. Why we are using mapping? Mapping is used to remove the first character from each string and collect the remaining character into set. Okay, so in in our mapping, what we are doing, we are doing two things in our mapping. First, we are removing it the from first character, and the remaining character we are collecting those remaining character into our set. So we are removing it, we are collecting it, and then we are collecting it in our set. So once all the operations are done, we have our final output. Now there are couple of things you need to understand. Why we are using set, why we are not using list. So I'll just quickly explain you. Okay, just a small demo. Now imagine we have a duplicate value. Okay, Now I will just I think I'll copy this. Okay, and I will just paste it. Okay, now I have two blueberries, and if you know, and if you don't know even, so set will remove my duplicate value. So if you see, if I not run this program, my output remains the same, but if I change this to list, okay, I think this will haywire. Let me see, it is showing an error, so I need to change something else. I need to change this also, I think. Yes, yeah, okay, perfect. Now if I run this program, so you see, now you will understand why it is happening in this manner. So A, avocado, in B they have blueberry and blueberry. So in some scenario, what interviewer might do, right, interviewer will give you duplicate, and then interviewer will ask you to even remove the means how to tweak this question. So what interviewer will do, they will say that you need to create a list, okay, and then once you create a list with this sample string when interviewer will give you, so once and when you do that, and after you doing that, you will see that, oh, I have a duplicate value, and then they will say, okay, remove the duplicate value. And if person doesn't know that set collection interface is used to remove duplicate value, then that they will have their answer that the person doesn't know much about how collection interface are. So I think that's all for now. If you have any questions, and for now, if you have any question, you can do comment me or you can email me. This type of industry level content I will be uploading, and definitely this will help you in your job search, and also it will be free of cost, available to everyone who is watching this. For this example, I'm not telling you that what will be the use case of this example in a real world application. I have explained you for question 1. I don't want to make this video more long. If you want to know, then you can definitely comment, and I will be sharing that to you in my further video. Thank you everyone.